Hey everyone, it's Pooh. This is still not the official live stream. The official live stream will be happening on this coming Friday at 8 Central Time. This is me with a few thoughts, maybe quite a few thoughts on the whole post VidCon drama involving several prominent YouTube creators and one not so prominent YouTube creator, although she still has vastly more subs than I do. So, obviously, most of you by now have heard of the drama that came post VidCon or at VidCon and just recently came to light involving Andy Worski, Blair White, Shoe on Head, and a few others. And it's been a little tough for me to watch these live streams that have been going on. There have been several of them. And there's a good chance I might step on some toes with this commentary, but there's a reason why I'm making these comments here. Um, by all means, am I not coming to the strictly, at least, to the defense of CrayZee Hair? I think even by her own responses, there are some things that are, that do induce a little bit of head scratching. But I guess the reason I feel the need to talk about this is out of a degree of loyalty to CrayZee Hair. CrayZee Hair was one of my first channel subscribers. She and I have also done a couple of hangouts, and she's in. Actually, she did the refining of the current Pooh icon. By her word, she got tired of seeing the pixelated Pooh avatar. Sorry, I meant to say avatar. And I've also seen a lot of her material from when I first started following her, and thought that she really had some good things to say. I really enjoyed her videos. She had a live stream with one of my other favorite YouTube channels, and that's Tree of Logic. But she had some videos talking about reason and making logical arguments for some of the subject matter that she was tackling. So I particularly like her channel. And earlier today, it is July 4th, by the way. Let me back it up just a second. She first put out a video at the end of last week talking about her VidCon experiences. And at that point, the general public, so to speak, didn't really know what had happened or what she was talking about. I didn't anyway. And I saw that video. I'm like, what is she going on about? And then the next thing you know, failure accomplished is doing a live stream talking about that because apparently he saw the video and Blair's and Shu's comments on the video. So based on the comments and the live stream that came afterwards, apparently CrayZee Hair had done some things that were called into question while at VidCon. And I'm not going to rehash what those things were. I think it's been done enough. But, while working, I was listening into that live stream and, it was because of this loyalty that I have to CrayZee Hair. It was kind of ticking me off that, well, maybe ticking off is too strong a word. I guess I just didn't like the idea that there seemed to be this dog pile on a person who was not even in the chat or the hangout. I don't think she was in the chat. I didn't hear anything to indicate that she was in the chat because honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, I was at work while I was listening in, and I don't recall hearing anybody talking about that. So I don't think she was there. Excuse me, I had to give a yawn there. Okay. Anyway, so and that's why eventually I was thankful that Mundane Matt finally came in, and he wasn't really being he wasn't really defending CrayZee Hair either. But he was giving a perspective on it that wasn't necessarily adding on to the pile here. So I appreciated that because the whole time, without really knowing exactly what was going on, I was like, well, that doesn't sound like CrayZee Hair. Although there was something in the back of my head kind of going, well, it might have been something that she would have done. And then later on that day, I'm home in time to catch the other live stream with Bunty, Shu, Blair, and Andy. I came in late. By the time I came in, uh, CrayZee Hair had made it into the stream. And I even went back, a little bit in the stream to try to get a little bit more context. So I got whatever I could glean off of that to get back to the live action, as it were. And I have to agree with, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Kevin Logan, I think the next day was on. I think it was the next day. It was in a stream with Andy, and he actually, and in his tweets, actually kind of agree with him. Now, I don't necessarily agree with him on his thinking that CrayZee's not mentally all there. She may not be. I don't know. And I have my reasons to think that she might not have been. But if I can remember, I'll get to that here momentarily. So, and I agree with Kevin Logan that it was a dog pile. And there were definitely a lot of emotions running high. And I can't say that I blame anybody in that stream who was getting emotional. But it really was a dog pile. And I found there were some moments where there was not as much rage going on. I could definitely tell there were still some emotions going on. And again, I don't blame Blair, Andy, or Shu for any of that. I can completely understand where they're coming from. Assuming that everything that they said is true. I don't know that absolutely everything that has been said is true. Yes, there's corroborating evidence to suggest that it's true, but you know what? I don't know these people personally like others do to draw that conclusion for myself. I do know CrayZee Hair a little bit more personally. I'm not saying we're the best of friends, because we're not. Again, this is coming from a little bit of a place of loyalty while still being skeptical of everything and with everybody. I guess that, again, the purpose why I'm here is do slightly a little bit out of loyalty, but just kind of also airing out my thoughts on the whole thing. Um, my biggest thing with all of it is that, one, a couple of things I wish would have happened instead of what we've gotten with CrayZee. I really wish she wouldn't have bothered making the videos, the first one and the one she did today. Because if, regardless of whether or not she thinks what everybody's saying is true, which she doesn't, um, she obviously thinks that there is maybe some kind of agenda being put out there based on a lot of supposition or even a lot of assumptions that because X was going on, then Y must have been the result of it. Instead of making these videos, I really wish you would have just let sleeping dogs lie and not have drawn more attention to herself and just gone down to the pub until the whole thing blew over. What is it? The Winchester? Yeah, she should have just gone to the Winchester, had a pint, and waited for everything to blow over. But that's not what happened. Instead, what's happened is that she's done these things, and it's just kind of adding fuel to the fire, which is why we had yet another live stream today. Kind of going over and talking about, how dirty she is or what a scum she is or this, that, and another. And, and just to kind of put it out there, if anybody's listening to this, I did not, the first very stream that was happening, I wanted to get in on that stream and say, look, first of all, she's not here. And secondly, there may be some things going on that she might not be thinking things out clearly. I don't know. But then again, everything that everybody's saying about her could be absolutely the truth. But I don't want to support that because I don't know what the truth is. I don't. And as much as I may respect everybody that's been a part of this, right up to Shu, Blair, and Andy, I don't know those people personally. There's one or two, three, maybe content creators on YouTube that I know personally enough that I would take their word over somebody else's. And up until recently, CrayZee Hair was one of them. Let me talk about that for a second, though. The reason why I believe a little bit less of I'm just not buying everything that CrayZee Hair says wholeheartedly. Not because I think she's a liar or anything like that. I mean, yes, the overwhelming evidence, such as it is not in her favor of being a good person. But the reason why, because see, the thing is, before VidCon even started, and you can, unless she's removed these videos, and I'm certainly not a psychologist, not in any stretch of the term. There were some videos that, unless she's removed them, you can still see them prior to VidCon. There were some videos that she was releasing that dealt with some, very much emotional things that were happening with her. It's almost, up until that point, just about any material that I've seen from CrayZee Hair was, fairly upbeat and again, fairly reasoned. And I just think, for the last few weeks leading up to VidCon, that there are or were some things going on with her that may, kind of emotionally put her in not the best of places. They're I don't know. I don't want to rehash those either. Because I don't want to make this very long also, because the longer I make this, the worse I'm going to sound. So anyway, so yeah, there are some things that she had put on her channel that I'm like, what's going on? I somewhat to the point that I even reached out to her several times to try to talk shit out. And I guess she declined at every turn. So, um, I don't know. That she declined it every turn, so there's not really much else to report on that. Not that I would report anything of private conversations that we would have had. But I was trying to be there for her as something of a friend because, again, I believe when you have the internet and distance between you and another person, that there's only so much, for me anyway, so much friendship I can give to it. So definitely, if I'd been around her and talking to her face to face, I'd have hugged on her and try to make her feel better as best as I could. But she and I are in that situation, and that's what it is. So again, this is again not really defense of her. I just think there were some things going on because apparently nobody knew who CrayZee Hair was. Well, maybe not nobody, but not very many people. She apparently, Blair and Andy didn't really seem to know who she is, and that's okay. They're not required to. But I think again, there's just a lot that may be going on with her that they don't know about. And again, agreeing with Kevin Logan, I don't think the situation that they, even though I understand that CrayZee wanted to get into that live stream to defend herself, the dogpiling just wasn't helpful. But again, she did put herself in that situation. Can't we all just get along? Oh goodness. And gosh, it just, even though I stayed in those live streams and listened in, um, it was still a little hard for me to do that because, again, I personally like CrayZee Hair. She's really done nothing to me, and you know, for whatever reason, I've pretty much, you know, been able to stay away from whatever's going on. Well, I didn't go to VidCon, and I've only got 55 subscribers. Thank you so much, Marty, for helping me get up to that point. Check out Marty Asphilius, y'all. He's got a great channel. So anyway, those are my thoughts on them, and they're not the most salient of thoughts to have ever come forth from this thing I call a mouth. I might actually be talking out of my ass right now. But what the hell? Everybody else has talked about this. Why not get on it? Why not get in on it? Hell, I already missed the Sargon Sarkeesian drama that happened at VidCon. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I really want to say. I don't really want to appear as though I'm taking sides here, and I probably still have. Somebody said in one of the streams earlier that there's two sides to every story, and although I believe that is true, I believe which is truer still is that there are three sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth. And gosh, again, the thing I find most unfortunate about this is there are lots of people that I subscribe to, I follow, I respect, that have seemingly, anyway, absolutely picked sides in this whole drama. And and gosh, man, I'm really not trying to do this holier than thou thing. It might just be coming off naturally. I've just chosen to try to stay in the middle of the road with this. Because again, of the respect that I have for a lot of these people, up to and including CrayZee Hair. And again, the loyalty I have to CrayZee Hair because of, at least at the very least a few months ago, what at least a friendly person she was to me. So came in with a couple of hangouts with me. We talked about at least a couple of videos. And I felt that the conversation was pretty great. Conversations. And again, she was one of my first subscribers. But it is what it is, guys. And thank you so much for popping in. And for anybody who sees this, who does happen to be subscribed to me, if you're one of the lucky 55, I will be doing my official first live stream and new avatar reveal this coming Friday, July 7th at 8 p.m. Central Time. And I hope you guys can make it out to it. If not, that's okay. Because it will show up one way or another. Really? You've been a meowy son of a bitch all night. Shut up. Yeah, that's my beast. He's being a little shit right now. Oh, he's a little shit all the time. All cats are little shits. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.